Okay, guys, so this is all about the Getting Started Right call. This is going, right in your notes, write this down. This is going to be forever evolving. This is going to be forever evolving. Like, this isn't something that I teach you the concept of today and then it's the same forever. And as we go through this, this is something where you're like, I need to add my flair. I need to add my style. I need to add my voice. This has to be you. And a lot of times, and I'm just going to be so completely honest with you, we overcomplicate this. And then we think, I can't help get somebody started right because of this moment, right? I can send them an email and send them to We Are Together Fit. I can have them do those videos, but oh my gosh, I have to get on a call with them and I have to train them and get them started right. And then because of that, you don't even invite to the business. And I'm going to tell you right now, second thing to write down, there's no point in watching this if you're not going to invite people to the business. Now. What's the point? And I know that sounds kind of harsh, and maybe there is a point for you to watch this. That is fine. But Brent would be very happy for me to say this. If you watch this right now, but you don't invite a coach to the business to actually use what I'm about to teach you for 6 months, what's the point in you spending your Monday night with us right now, or whenever you watch the recording? The only way you're going to learn how to get a coach started right is to bring on a coach and talk to them. At the end of the day, the same thing, the same concept that I'm teaching my brand new coaches right now, which is just to talk to people, whether it's your mom, whether it's your sister, whether it's your best friend, whether it's an acquaintance from Facebook, you're talking to them about getting into your challenge groups. Well, guess what? The same concept works for coaching. And if you don't actually talk to people and bring them into this fit family and then be able to use the stuff that I'm about to teach you, it's going to sit here, and there's no point for you to even waste your night. You shouldn't even be here. You should be out there inviting people. That's where you should be. So if all of a sudden, like, half the people on this thing drop off because you're like, I need to go invite somebody to become a coach, then go freaking do it. Because at the end of the day, a Getting Started Right call, I could teach it to you all day long. But until you actually do it, it's not going to make any sense. And I think that that has been my problem all along. I wanted to give an exact script. I wanted to give an exact play-by-play. And at the end of the day, it's just going to take you guiding somebody through this process, and you will find your voice. So as we talk through this, this is the same slide that I gave to you guys last week. This is a concept. This isn't me telling you, okay, when you bring a coach on, you say this, you say this, you say this, you say this. This is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because the reason is every person that you bring onto your team is going to need to go through this differently. I'm telling you, there's no script that I can give. Like, I can give a general consensus, but the way that I train each individual coach is always going to look different. It's going to have a general feel, but at the end of the day, you have to decide how you're going to run this. And then listen to me right now. Very important. Put a big star on your notes. If everything I say tonight, listen to me so freaking clearly. I'm going to actually turn this off. I'm going to stop my share, and I want you to see my face. I'm going to spotlight my freaking face right now because I want you to see me. This is very serious. If everything I say tonight you do with your first coach, you do with your second coach, you do with your third coach, you do with your fourth coach, you do with your fifth, you do it with your coaches, and it doesn't work, do something different. Don't wait for, like this is so profound. I hope you grasp this concept. We were using the academy for a really long time, and for me, it worked. Okay, my people saw my face, it worked for me. But if it didn't work for another coach, guess what they did? They just kept using it because they're like, I'm so tired and I don't have time to create my own training thing. So I'm just going to keep using what I'm using even though it's not working for me. What? Like, I haven't had a full night's sleep in 7 months. Don't come at me and tell me you're tired. Don't come at me and tell me that you don't have time to use your brain and create something that might work for your people. I'm going to give you a concept that I know will work for me. that I know that if I took Devin through it, and I'll keep using Devin because I don't know why she's always in my screen. I can see her and she's got the cute little nugget. She's bouncing around. I love it. But this is the deal. At the end of the day, I know if I walked her through this, that I could get her through this getting started right call. But when Erin does it, Erin may not get her first coach through it if she goes through the exact same process. So she needs to take the concept and then go, how do I make this fit my personality and the personality of the people that I am helping? That's the deal. So please hear me loudly when I share with you what I'm going to be doing, because this is a concept. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And when I find out that what I'm not doing is working, or maybe I change things, I'll record a video, I'll post it to our Team Together Fit page, and I'll share it with you guys. But I cannot and will not give you something that at the end of the day you can't completely change. You have my permission to do whatever you need to do in this getting started right call to get your coaches started right. That is the deal. At the end of the day, that's the deal. So I promise I'll share my PowerPoint again and I'll stop going on my mama bear tangents. Okay, so give me a thumbs up, Devin. Can you see my screen of the PowerPoint? Yes. Okay, next up, slide you've already seen, because I feel like I need to give you the run through one more time. When somebody signs up as a coach, what do? They get an email from corporate. Right? That's what happens. That's their initial first steps, their first 30 minutes. It doesn't have to happen by you. Corporate sends it to them. They do the hard work for you so that you can have a life and not have to worry about getting your coach started right the moment they click submit, right? So you've got your first 30 minutes. Then we talked about last week their first 30 hours as a coach, right? Which is actually taking that video that corporate gave them and doing what it says to do. So in that first 30 minutes, sometimes they'll just watch the video. Sometimes they may just acknowledge that they got the email, right? They may just download the quick start guide, but they may not have time to go through it. Within their first 30 hours, they go through the material that corporate gave to them. Their coach ID, their profile, and their websites are set up. This is very important. There's some kinks in the system. I don't know if they're legit or not, but if somebody's profile and websites are not set up, if their profile is not set up, guess what? Even if somebody used their coaching links, if somebody used your link, if your profile is not set up, they're not going to go to your site. Their profile has to be set up. So this is very important that we stress to them, get this done. Get this done. No matter if they're a hobby coach, no matter if they are a potential business building coach. And then obviously I showed you this last week. So there's the email from corporate. They get a message from me telling them how excited I am for them and to remind them to do their freaking email. And then they're going to get another email from me that gives them access to what? wearetogetherfit.com. And I gave tips last week on other things to put in the email. I actually finally have like a general email that I'm putting together, and I will make sure I put that into the Team Together Fit page. But hopefully last week you created your email, because I don't need you to wait for me to create mine and give it to you. You can look at mine and change some things. But at the end of the day, we're wanting them to go through this We Are Together Fit. I keep saying Team Together Fit. Take the team out of it. wearetogetherfit.com site. And this is everything they need to get started, right? But I'm telling you right now, I have a new coach. She's amazing. She's Ashley, and she is freaking awesome. She went through all of this, but they're still going to have questions. They still need to link arms with you. Just like if you would send somebody a video of how to use Beachbody on demand, right? If I sent somebody a video, this is exactly how you access Beachbody on demand. It's how you log in. It's how you do the search. It's how you find your workouts. Here's where the nutrition guides are. As a coach, you know in your challenge groups, you've seen it, they're still going to ask you some questions. Well, what program do you think would be best for me? I'm thinking of doing this, right? Like, I have questions on the nutrition, and I'm confused about this or this. Can you kind of clarify some things? The same thing's going to happen with the business. So you can't expect, if you send them to wearetogetherfit.com and you just go, okay, I got them started right. There's more to it than that if you really truly want to build your team. But you get to decide how this works for you. So before I give you this slide, because there's a lot of words on this slide, didn't have time to make it pretty. The getting started right call that we're going to talk about today, write this down. It doesn't have to actually be a phone call. It doesn't even have to be a Zoom. I'm going to tell you that I'm personally using Zoom. That I don't do phone calls for this because I want to share my screen. But I know that Jamie Ennis is an amazing coach who I've learned so much from. She does her entire Getting Started Right process through Voxer. All of it, even the very first initial Getting Started Right, quote unquote, call. She just talks to them for 15 minutes. That's what she does and gets them excited. So for me, I want to see them face to face. That's just a me thing, right? But everything that I'm teaching you today can be done through Voxer. It can be done face to face at a coffee shop. It can be done through Zoom. It could be done, in your living room, for Christ's sakes. Like, I don't care how you get this done. It just needs to get done. The next phase, the next step has to happen once they complete the wearetogetherfit.com. So how you do this, I don't care, okay? Lots of words, I'm sorry, it's not that pretty. But I wanted to at least show you what I plan to do, because this is just me. If I were sitting down with them face to face, I'd do this. If I were talking to them on the phone, I would do this. If I were in Voxer, I don't know that I'd be able to do this unless it was one-on-one, right? So every person, everything that you do is going to be a little bit different. But when I do a Getting Started Right call, I always start with how excited I am for them. And it's a true, genuine excitement, right? Like, it's truly me being pumped for the fact that they became a coach and are doing this with me. And if you don't start with that, like, come on now, like, you should be really freaking excited. But this is the deal. When somebody does this and starts this journey, they typically are a little nervous. Like, I think me, if I were getting ready to talk to my upline coach after I signed up, I would have been peeing in my pants. So nervous that it was like a job interview or something, that I was going to screw something up. So I would have practiced like what I was going to say. I know that sounds ridiculous, and I'm not certain that everybody's going to do this, but I can tell you for me, I'm going to ask them. And this is how I say it. I know we've talked about this before, but it's a little bit different talking through Facebook than it is talking face to face. Like, what in your heart of hearts is your reason for becoming a coach? Like, I just want to hear you say it. I want you to say it out loud, like, speak it. Because most people, they want to talk about themselves. And if you talk too much on the front end and don't let them get like words out, they're going to be like, and they're going to shut down, right? So like, I'm asking them for like, what's your reason for wanting to become a coach? Just let them talk about it. Let them talk about it. And then what I'm personally doing, and this may be different for you, because like, I'm trying to think of you in the terms of a brand new baby coach who brings on like a close friend. You might know the answers to these, okay? For me, I honestly, most of the people that I sign up, I don't know the answer, like the true answer to these questions. So I may know the answer to one or two of them, but I don't know the answer to all of them. So last night I did a GSR, and I literally asked her, I was like, I'm going to ask you some questions. And I swear this is not like me interrogating you. I swear there's no right or wrong answer. And I pinky promise there's a means behind my madness. And so like, I told her, I'm going to ask you some questions. I don't want you to freak out. I don't need you to answer them how you think I want you to answer them. I need you to legit tell me the answers to these, because it's the only way I'm going to be able to figure out which direction to take. Now, why am I doing this? Back in the olden days, we used a coach portrait. And the reason why I'm not using the coach portrait is because, my God, people would spend weeks just getting their coach portrait done. Like just what? Like, I just need you to fill out some questions and send it to me. And once you fill it out, we can have a call. And these people would spend weeks because they couldn't write their story. They didn't know what their favorite workout program was. I mean, they literally couldn't figure out their URL to Facebook, so they wouldn't send their coach portrait in for an extra week. I'm like, where's the emoji with the face palm to the forehead, right? So I wanted to omit that. Obviously, some people were awesome and got it in right away, but a lot of people, it was like a roadblock. And what I'm trying to do is eliminate roadblocks. I'm just going to ask them the most important questions right here. And these to me are mine. Create your own freaking questions, okay? But you got to ask some key questions. Whatever questions you need to ask to figure out, are they somebody who really wants to work this as a business, or are they somebody that just wants to help their mom? This is very serious. And if you only want to help two people, you're a hobby coach. If you only have an hour to put into the business every week, you're a hobby coach. If you don't want to run your own challenge group ever, You're a hobby coach. You guys know these answers. So it's not like people always are like, well, what is the definition of business builder and hobby? I don't have an exact definition. But when somebody answers your key questions, you're gonna know, okay? You're gonna know. Like if somebody tells me they want to pay off their student loan debt, like they're a business builder, okay? I'm just telling you. Like, but if somebody's like, I really don't care if I make any money with this. I really just have a couple friends that are asking me some questions and like, I want to help them. Okay, you're not a business builder coach. So we're trying to figure it out. And for me, I love to ask them what their version of success is. What is your version of success? Not in your fitness journey, but in the business. Like what does that look like to you? Like not, and it could look different in 6 months from now, but like right now, if you could do anything with this opportunity, what would it be? And like people will tell you, I would love to be able to stay at home with my kids. I'd love to be able to pay off my debt. I'd love to be able to fire my boss. I'd love to be able to pay my car note off every month. I'd love to do whatever it is. They'll tell you if it's a bigger vision, right? And if their version of success with this is to help, like, well, I've got a couple friends that want to do this, so I just want to help get them signed up and then like continue on my journey. You're going to see immediately the distinction between the two. Another key question that I think is huge is how much time are you willing to invest? Most people don't know how much time is needed. Okay, so I've noticed this, but I love to ask this question for me personally because at the end of the day, guys, like if somebody tells me they only have an hour a week, like they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it through an actual training program. Okay. So that means they're going to be a hobby coach and we're just going to start a few conversations. And then if eventually it leads to more, that's great. But if they have 5 hours or more a week to work this, they can do this as a business builder, like 5 hours. Now those 5 hours don't count for their workouts. Okay. They got to get their workouts in and then have 5 extra hours. But I even had on my Getting Started Right call last night, she was like, well, like talk me through like to be successful at this, what does that look like? So I'm going to tell you what I would say to her because again, this is conceptual. So it's just me like sharing what I would say. Somebody asked me how much time, I would say, well, this is the deal. When I was working the business, I had my version of success was at $100,000 in debt. And so I imagined that I had put $100,000 down to start my business. I tell them this. So then I asked myself, how many hours a week do I have to invest while I'm trying to recoup that $100,000? Like how many hours a week could I invest into this? And then I found every minute that I could. And I say, but not everybody's like me. So for some of my coaches, it's 10 hours a week. For some coaches, it's 5 hours a week. But for me, I was working 2 hours a day. No matter if I was working 80-hour weeks, like when I was gunning for this thing, it was like when I was like, it's called the power of part-time. I was working 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 30 minutes here. If I had an hour at night, I was working an hour at night. And I was doing about 2 hours a day to get this thing up off the ground. But I have coaches who do 30 minutes a day because all they're doing is just talking to a few friends. And that's cool. They're not running their own groups. They're not doing this. So I kind of give them a vision and they're like, well, like last night, Ashley was like, I can do like 10. I could even do up to 20 hours a week if I needed to. And I'm like, okay, boom. She's obviously not a hobby coach. Does that mean, like, are you seeing what I'm trying to get to? You're trying to get these questions that make it obvious that this person has the ability to be a business builder. The other two questions really are kind of, for me, how do I know if I'm going to help them personally, like, invite somebody like their mom and their sister right now, or if they don't have anybody, okay? Because there's some people that come into this business, and you guys can use the chats, but, and to tell me this, I would love to know. Some people come into this because they already have people who want to join their journey with them. And then some people come into this and they have no idea who's going to join this journey with them. They just want to share it, right? There's two types of people. I personally was the one that I didn't have anybody in my life that I knew wanted to do this with me. So I had to figure out a means and a method to help people here without knowing. Like, whereas I'll use, again, I'm just using Ashley because she's one of my newest, amazing, beautiful coaches. She's already got 2 people who are ready to do a challenge pack. Okay? So like at the end of the day, do you have people already ready to join you? That's definitely not the correct grammar, but they've already seen the We Are Together fit. You have to understand with this getting started right call, they've already got the information they need to get somebody started right. So the question is, do you already have people who want to join you on this journey? And like, there's no right or wrong answer. And they're going to say, yeah, my sister and my cousin. Yeah, my 2 friends from Facebook. Yeah, da 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 da. Or they're going to say, no, not yet. I don't have anybody. And but it's no right or wrong answer. You're just trying to figure that out, right? Because I know in a getting started right situation, if somebody already has 2 people, my job is just to help them talk to people. That's it. My job is just to be in this with them, just like I would help them work out, make sure that they do their workouts, make sure I answer any questions they have about Beachbody On Demand. I'm going to be right there with them, answering any questions they have about helping these people. That's what I'm going to do. That's it. If they don't, it's like, are you willing to put yourself out there on social? Are you willing to share that you're a coach and this journey with other people through social media? I need to know this. I need to know this because like I want to help you make your coach announcement. And like we should just do this thing. But like if you aren't wanting to post this on social, then like let's not. So these are the 4 questions that I personally ask. You don't have to ask them. You don't have to do key questions at all. You may already know this person, but the one thing I hope that you don't do is just assume if they're a business builder or they're a hobby coach. Don't just assume it. You could do pre-work. You could have your coach portrait. You can do whatever you wanted to do to figure this out. But at the end of the day, you need to know. They need to speak the words to you, and you need to know which route they are because that's going to guide the rest of this getting started right call. This was the problem with our previous training system. We just treated everybody as if they were a business builder. And the truth of the matter is some people won't become business builders until they believe that the coaching opportunity has, what's the right word? Until there's just a bang for their buck. Until they help those first 2 people, right? Until they help their mom get set up and then they see that first paycheck come through and they're like, what the heck? I just made $50. Okay, I can do this. And then all of a sudden it starts clicking and they start wanting to be able to learn more. Some people, it takes starting as a hobby coach and just getting your first win under your belt before they'll move forward into a training program. So you've got to know where they land, right? So as a hobby coach, the kicker is to go at their pace. And this is why so many of you are brand new and you've never brought on a coach before. So this does not apply. You're learning for the first time. I hope you learn from us old folks, okay? This is the deal. Many of you get so excited because somebody wants to become a coach and actually wants to help somebody else. So you just assume they're a business builder and you start dragging them. And I'm telling you right now, you gotta go at their pace. This is the most important piece of the puzzle. If they're a hobby coach, let them sit in that moment. And your job is to add their people to your groups. Again, listen to me. If you don't want to do this, don't do it. But I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm personally, if one of my coaches is a hobby coach, like they're able to add their people to my group. They don't ever want to run a challenge group, at least not yet. That may change in a month or so, but like they're not wanting to add people to their own groups. They're not going to create their own groups. So what incentive do they have to bring on these new people if they're not going to run in their own group? So to me, I'm like, I'm just going to let them bring their people in and adopt them into our fit family, right? My job, if it's a hobby coach, is in this GSR, is to help them through conversations. Because more than likely, if they're a hobby coach, their response to the questions are either one of 2 things. I already have my mom who's thinking about doing on demand. My sister is thinking about doing a refresh. And, I'm sure I've got a few other people that I want to talk to. And I'm like, well, so literally all I do is I say, let's make a list of the people. Literally, this is all I do. Let's make a list of your 5 people that you want to help. Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 3. What are their names? Tell me their names. And then I say, okay, tell me why they want to do this with you. I'm literally on the call with them. I'm not doing anything else. We're not talking social media. We're not talking Success Club. All we're talking about is how to talk to these people and what to say to them. So it's like, I literally just say, tell me their names. Tell me why you think they'd be amazing at or need Beachbody On Demand or need the refresh. And then I would say, what do you think you should send to them? So if this is your mom, how do you think you should talk to her? They may say, I don't know, and that's when you help them. But like at the end of the day, if they already have people that they want to help, and they're a hobby coach, they only have a few, like an hour or two a week they can work this. They don't really want to work this as a business. They've just got a few people. Like your job is to help them initiate, listen to me. Don't help them figure out the whole conversation. It's going to freak them out. Again, I don't want to say don't. I'm going to say I advise strongly not to tell them. I just tell them how to initiate the conversation. Because please tell me right now that that's not the scariest part. Is that first message to somebody. That first message is to see if they're interested, they're really interested, or that first text, or that first, it's like ripping the Band-Aid off. You gotta, because once the conversation started, it's like a runaway train. You gotta keep it going, But like that first message, or that first text, or that phone call, or whatever is the hardest. So help them initiate it, okay? And then you have the ability from there on out to do it for them if needed. What do I mean by this? The easiest way to help get somebody set up is to do a 3-way call with them and that person. If they're close enough, if you're close enough, if the inner circle is close enough, you talk to them for them. You know how to talk to people, right? Like you talk to them. You could do a 3-way message on Facebook and have them introduce you. And then you talk to them and invite them into the group and have your coach watch you do it. You can do it for them if you want to, right? So that they can see it. My mentor used to say, do it for them at first so that you then do it with them so that they can then do it by themselves, right? So you could do it for them if needed, or you could walk them through the conversations. But if I have a hobby coach, I'm not going into anything more than how to either initiate conversations, or if they don't have anybody that they want to help, but they're willing to put their story out on social media, we're going to craft their story and make a post. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And announce that this is what they're doing and see who wants to join them. Literally, that's it. And I think the problem is we've been overcomplicating it. You know what I mean? Well, even if you're a hobby coach, let's teach you about your why. Let's teach you about time management. Let's teach you about your websites, how to check customer orders, and let's do all these things. But really, at the end of the day, they just need to make sure they know how to talk to people, and the people that mean the most to them right now, that they want to join the next group that you guys are doing. That's it. So I hope that, again, you trust your gut. Write that down. Trust my gut. When you're talking to a hobby coach, that's all you got to do. Guide them through in a way that makes sense for that person. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't use fancy lingo like Success Club or Emerald. Don't go into detail on how to run a challenge group or how pretty your social media should be or freaking apps for your freaking Instagram. All you do is teach them how to talk to people, the people that they already know in their heart they want to join your next group. That's it. Okay? Now, what if they're a business building coach? This is where it gets fun. I like this part of it. This is what makes me happy. One, I paint the picture. Lord have mercy. That Mr. T. There's a typo. Mr. T. Paint the picture. That's what I always do. I go over their coach action plan. I'm going to let them ask me questions, and then I always give them a call to action. Okay? So I'm going to walk you through what this looks like. And again, what did I tell you at the beginning? This is forever changing. When Britt and I create, one day, we're going to create a PDF, dang it. And this PDF is what we're going to go over in this call, and it's going to be our own version of this coach action plan. We don't got it down yet, but it will come. And at the end of the day, it's going to probably be broken down even simpler than what this action plan is, but they have access to this. This is a part of the first 30. So for right now, I want to make sure that you know how to use it. So by painting the picture, what does that mean? I give them a vision for success. That's what we're doing. I tell them the next 30 days, this is what it's going to look like. So again, you need to you got to paint the picture for them. You can't just say, okay, we're going to create an action plan and then we're just going to go. No, it's okay, let's take it back. What I want to do today is, tell them, what do you want to do today? I want to create up your business plan for the next 30 days. That's what we're going to do. And then I literally say, first, today, the plan's going to be made. Tonight or tomorrow, we're going to be added to, and then I use Voxer, and we'll talk about this in a minute. We're going to be adding you to Voxer, which is where all of our communication is going to be happening. You could be using Facebook Messenger, text message. You could be, I don't care how you do this, okay, emails, whatever the case may be. And then I say what we're going to be doing after this call is what we call Coach Basics. Now this is my Coach Basics. This ain't going to be the Beachbody, like printed out Coach Basics, but you're going to have a chance, and we'll talk about this next week. But at the end of the day, all we're going to be doing is making sure that you know how to talk to people. And I'm going to be making sure that you have goals set for yourself, you know what your goals are, and that you know how to use social media the right way. There's the only 3 things in my Coach Basics that's going to be happening. You know how to talk to people, you know what your goals are, and at the end of the day, you know how to use social media the right way. That's it. So that eventually you can invite to either my challenge groups or to your own. That's my plan right there. So it's like my vision for success is we're going to, today, right now, we're creating our 30-day plan. We're going to be adding you into whatever mode of communication that you're going to be using, okay? A Facebook message, email thread, or whatever, where you're going to be asking all of your questions. And what's going to be moving forward, what's going to be happening is we're going to be going through Coach Basics together. And all Coach Basics is for 30 days. You and I are going to learn how to have conversations. You're going to learn how to what? Talk to people. Make sure that you know how to use social media the right way. And then I'm going to be here for you every step of the way, right? And so that the inevitable ultimate goal, depending upon what they want to do, is to either add to a group that is mine or to create your own. So I'm painting the picture for them of what their first, like the next 30 days are going to look like. And then I pull up the Coach Action Plan. So now, what is this fabulous plan? And again, do you have to use it? Nope. But just going to show it to you because it's here. So inside of your coach office is inside of training, you'll have this Getting Started tab, okay? Inside of there's everything first 30. So when you click on it, it's going to take you on the back side, and it obviously has their first 30 minutes as a coach, their first 30 hours, which is where we're going, and then eventually the first 30 days. So in these first 30 hours, click it. It has this Coach Action Plan, and I use Zoom because I want them to be able to see it. But if you wanted to do this face-to-face, you could print it out. If you want to do this over the phone, you could have them have it in front of them, and you have it in front of you, and you just talk to them. However you want to do this, get it done. But I pulled this up. And the cool part about it is, at the beginning of this, the reason for becoming a coach, they already said it. They already told you it at the beginning of the Getting Started Right call. I asked them, like, I'm so excited for you. Okay, talk me through your reason for wanting to become a coach. They already said it. So that part's already done. Look at that. And then it tells you in my first 30 days. So again, you don't have to be, you don't even have to be a coach who you've even had your first 30 days yet. Like, I think this is the common misconception. I need to be an established coach to be able to walk somebody through this. No, you and them could both be in your first 30 days as a coach, and you could be walking them through this action plan because it's the same action plan you should be following, right? Like, you don't have to be an expert to be able to get somebody started right. You're just walking them through what you should be doing yourself. So your first 30 days, first 30-day goals. How many people do you want to join a challenge group? Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. How should you explain Success Club? Because all of a sudden there's the word Success Club there. You want to know what I say? What I really hope you do, if they're a business building coach, is you help 3 people go all in. When you do that, you'll hit Success Club. And I say 3 people on a challenge pack. I don't confuse them. I don't say, okay, so Success Club is anything 90 PV HD. Come on, these new coaches don't know what 90 PV means. What is PV? Some of you don't even know what PV is. They don't know what HD is because on the website it says auto ship. Now you're using HD, home direct. They don't know what any of these acronyms are. So instead of saying, well, you can hit Success Club by Shakeology, the Performance Line, Challenge Pack, any of the challenge packs, here's the best array of now you've just confused them. So if you just, all I told my girl Ashley was, you know, 3 people go all in. And you hit Success Club. Now, you can help more people than that. You can help somebody just get on Beachbody On Demand. You can help somebody just get Shakeology by itself. You can help somebody get a refresh, right? So when it says help blank people, I want you to set that goal, and you don't have to set it today. I'm going to be sending this to you, and you can decide what number that is. But do you think you can help 3 people? And I just ask them. If they're like, no, I only think I can help 1, well, then we'll put 1 down, right? But more than likely, they're going to be like, yeah, I can totally help 3 people. Okay, so don't overcomplicate it, and don't make them think that it's impossible. Kanoa goes, I'm still confused myself, and she's been a coach for like years, 2 years, right? So at the end of the day, help 3 people. Okay, that's all you have to say. We don't need a fancy video. We don't need anything. So it's like, I can tell you in my GSR, I was like, can you help 3 people? She's like, yeah, I have 2 that want help right now, and we can totally talk to them. But then I'm definitely sure that I'll be able to help more people. So I think my goal is like 6. I'm like, awesome, let's write that number in, okay? I always say, earn at least blank in total commissions. You know what? If their goal isn't financial, you don't have to fill this out. But I always tell them, if you help 3 people, you're gonna make 150 bucks-ish. That's what I just said. I just give them the ish, right? If they help 6, they may help more, they may spend more, but if they get 3 challenge packs, they're gonna make ish, depending upon what they buy, around 150 bucks, okay? So like if they want to earn more, then obviously they're going to see that they need to help more people, okay? But I'm like, if you help 3 people, you're going to earn about $150, which will cover your Shakeology and then some. And I'm like, okay. And then like you can set the goal higher if you wanted to. Complete Coach Basics training, and I'm like, I'm going to walk you through that, and then stick to your fitness program. So you set their goals with them. You set their goals for their first 30 days right here with them. And then you go through the action steps. And this is my favorite part, because in the old training, we called it the foundations. I try to get like fancy with the names and all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, they're the vital behaviors. This is not, I cannot stress this to you, this is not the first time that they've seen this. They've already watched the We Are Together Fit training, so that they know that their job is to post on social, to start new conversations, to find out someone's goals and invite them to a challenge group, to follow up with people and work out. But they see this and they freak out. They see this little checklist, my action steps, and for whatever reason, they're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So on this call with them, I'm like, can I really just simplify your life? Can you post 1 time on social media? I don't do a social media training. I don't tell them what to post. Can you post 1 time on social media every day? I'm like, yeah, awesome. Can you start new conversations with people? Meaning, like, if somebody clicks like on one of your fitness posts, can you just reach out to them and say thank you for joining my journey and like encouraging me and giving me a virtual high five? Like, I really appreciate it. Can you do that every day? I'm like, yeah, like, awesome. Those people that you wrote down on your, like, that you have in your head that are on that list that, like, you know that you can help, can you invite at least 1 person a day for the next, like, 5 days to be in our next challenge group? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And like, and then when you have these conversations rolling, can you make sure that you don't leave them hanging for like 5 days and actually respond to them? Like, awesome. Like, so therefore you can follow up. Like, can you work out and drink your Shakeology? Yeah. Do your personal development? Yeah. And then can you recognize somebody and celebrate them when they actually do join you on this journey, whether that's face-to-face, on your Instagram stories, on your Facebook, give them a shout out, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, then you can be a coach. I literally simplified, like, it's not that complicated, but you've got to take these vital behaviors and just simplify it for them, right? You've already gone over how many hours a day or week or whatever that they want to do this. If you wanted to talk about this and potential obstacles, you totally can. Your check-in, for me, again, I'm going to talk about Voxer in a hot second, but I check in with them every day. That's just me. But you could do it on a weekly basis and have a weekly call with them. That's fine too. But there's housekeeping items. This is already here for you. It's here for you. And you can decide to use it. And you can literally say, we're not going to go over that. If you don't like the, earn at least blank in total commissions, you can scratch that out. But I'm going to tell you that people are motivated by that. If somebody has like debt that they want to pay off, and you're like, okay, in our first 30 days, our goal is to make sure that the Shakeology that you purchase, you're not in the red for. Our first goal is to pay for your products. Let's do this. $150, 3 people, let's go. And like, they're gonna be motivated by that. So there's certain things that you could take out, but I honestly think that simplifying this is gonna be huge. Just my personal opinion. So Let me share my screen back over to here. So I go over their action plan with them, and then I simply say, so talk me through your questions. Now, what they're going to do, more than likely, is say, this is I'm just overwhelmed. I'll tell you, every person that you train will always say that they're overwhelmed. So I'll tell you my tip and to help them. One, to say, it boils down to 6 things. And they're like, I just don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm like, it boils down to 6 things. And I go back to the action plan. I'm like, can you do this? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, then don't overthink it. 2, overwhelm is the same emotional response as being excited. It's just a different mental capacity. So instead of being excited, they turn it into freaking out, right? And I'm like, so every time you feel overwhelmed, I was like, flip that switch and just say, I'm freaking excited. Like, yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, but I'm freaking excited. And you just got to flip the switch and say, I'm going to help you talk to people. Because at the end of the day, that's why they're overwhelmed. They don't know what to say to people, just like you. But you know what? Together, 2 heads are better than 1. You're just having conversations with people, and together you're figuring out like what to say and how to respond to the feedback and things that they're giving you. So the call to action is just what I always do at the end of every call. It's like what I want them to do. So I'm gonna share with you Voxer in just a second so that some of you can start playing around with it, and I'll go over this more next week. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I just want you to do, so what do you want them to do? Do you want to send them this plan and have them fill it out themselves? Do you want to, for me, like that's one thing. I can email them the plan or Facebook message them the plan and have them fill it out, print it out, have it on their screensaver on their computer. Do you want them to do that? Maybe you don't. Maybe you just wanted to go over it and leave it out there just floating around. That's fine too, okay? For me, I usually have them, like they're printing that off and having that in hand before we have our call. That's just me, because I'm a person, I want them to be able, you can type into it online and some really cool stuff too. So my call to action is usually just download the Voxer app. That's just me. I try to keep it real simple. And then start conversations. But you're like, well, what the heck is this Voxer thing? Some of you, who uses Voxer? Use the chat. Somebody use Voxer. Erin's raising her hand. Who uses Voxer? Anybody? 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 If you don't, I'm going to strongly suggest you get it. And I've been anti-Voxer my whole life. Ask any of our veterans. I'm like, I don't use Voxer because I don't want somebody to be able to message me at any time without my permission. That's what I used to always say. So bad. Kelly goes the WhatsApp. So if you see that in the chat, you don't have to use Voxer. It's just what I use. She goes, WhatsApp is a good alternative and also is able to be used internationally. So the reason I use it is for a couple things. It's like Facebook Messenger with iMessage. So I know Android people don't grasp the iMessage concept, but it's live audios. It's a walkie-talkie app. So I can just talk to them. Like I hold down that green button at the end, or you do tap to talk and you tap it and you just talk and you instantly communicate live with the people on the other end. So Jane Doe over there, right? I could do individual one-on-ones. I actually am testing out a small group training right now. So training my coaches who come in at the same time in like a small group of 4 people. So there's group chats, there's individual chats, and you can listen to it live. Like the moment I'm going, it could go, beep, beep, beep. It has this little chirp if you wanted to have your notifications go. And like you can listen to me live while I'm talking. Or if you have life going on, you can play it back like a recording. You know what I mean? But you also are able, because this is why it's kind of like Facebook, it is, you can share photos, you can share videos, like YouTube links. You can also share GIFs. And yes, they're called GIFs. And you can share files from your Dropbox. So I think that that's like, it's like you can give them everything inside of here. Again, I'm not sold on it. I don't know if it's going to work. You know what I mean? But I'm using it and I'm giving it a go, right? Right now, trying something new because I know that people's Facebook is bogged down. So if I'm using Facebook Messenger, sometimes things get lost. You may notice, and what I've noticed with a couple of my girls, if they have a new app, they don't check it. So they're actually easier to get a hold of through Facebook because inside this new app, their stupid butts don't check the dang thing. And I'm like, oh! So every coach is different. So again, Use what you need to use to be able to get them access to what they need. But I have them download this because this is how I communicate with them. In my Facebook Messenger is where my messages and conversations with my new people are. I want to take my coaches' conversations into this Voxer app so that I'm organized. So I know when I go into Voxer, it's my coaches, okay? When I go into my Messenger, it's not my coaches for the most part. It's literally just my new conversations and my follow-ups, right? So for me, I'm having them get in there and start playing around with it. I tell them, go download Voxer and tell me your screen name, because you make a screen name. Now, this is very important. I was so scared. Somebody told me about Voxer. I was like, I physically don't have the capacity to learn a new thing. I remember saying that to Jamie. She was like, I use Voxer to train my people. And I was like, I don't know that my mom brain can physically grasp learning anything else right now. I don't know how to learn something new. And I actually didn't do it for like 2 weeks because it's like, I don't know how to use Voxer. I have absolutely no idea. And I don't have capacity to learn it. I'm telling you, it is so amazing and so fun because when somebody's having even today, and I'm going to grab my phone real quick. Even today, Devin was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so it gives them access to me readily, right? And she was like, my mom wants to do Beachbody on Demand. My sister, I've got to talk to her about Shakeology, but I've got to work around that and figure out how I'm going to communicate with her. But she was able to celebrate. There was the freaking amazing Christina Aguilera GIF flying because she was so excited. And then I was able to immediately do an audio back to her to tell her how excited I was and to make sure that she kept us updated on her sister so I could help her through the conversation. So when I'm in Voxer, we're just going back and forth. All it is me going back and forth with them, teaching them how to talk to people. I talked to her, she said this. I'm like, post a screenshot so I know what's going on. She posts a screenshot, I'm like, awesome, this is what I would say. And I can literally just have conversations back and forth with them. Now we're gonna go into this in more detail next week and how I do this, but at the end of the day, this is what's going on. They get an email from corporate. They get a message from me saying, do that freaking email. You know what I mean? They're going to get an email from me saying, hey, so excited, welcome to the family. And then hey, by the way, we are Together Fit. You need to get this done. And when you're done with it, we're going to do a call. And then you move them into your GSR at the end of that. The goal is to get all of this done as close to 30 hours as possible. Listen to me. Don't freak yourself out. Don't freak yourself out. Don't overthink the getting started right call, because really at the end of the day, what's the golden rule? You can say everything right, but if it's to the wrong person, they still won't work the business. You could do a getting started right call and say everything wrong, but if it's to the right person, they're still going to crush this thing. It doesn't even matter, right? It's about community, okay? But the reason why my goal is to stress to them, get this ish done, is the longer they wait before we get on that call, or before we get into Voxer, if you want to do all your getting started right stuff inside of Voxer, the longer they wait, every hour past that 30-hour marker that they don't have communication with you to reaffirm that they can do this, the likelihood of them actually following through decreases dramatically. So I challenge you to, and I'll show you in my email, I say, I need you to get this done in the next day, 2 days max. So telling them they need to get the We Are Together Fit stuff done ASAP. Why? Because I want to talk to them. Every day that passes is a day that the doubt is creeping in, okay? So my goal for you is to get this getting started right call done with them as soon as you can, so that you can figure out what route to take and just start helping them take their next step. I mean, that's really truthfully going to be what it amounts to. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to stop my share. We have 8 minutes. I would love to know if there's any questions that you guys have about this. Let me pull up the chat real quick. Megan goes, my conversations tend to get buried in Facebook Messenger, so I love this idea. Yay! Dev goes, I love getting the notifications that you're talking, and if I can listen while you're talking, it's super exciting. I know, see, it's so good. So any questions on the GSR? Any thoughts on this? Especially veterans who've done quite a few of these. I'm going to cancel the spotlight view and pull this up. Anything? No? Nothing? Are you scared? Anybody excited? Anybody, anything? Everybody's tired? What's happening? Thank you. Nisha gave me the thumbs up. That makes me happy. You should be happy, Kanoa. We got Nisha giving thumbs up. This is the deal. At the end of the day, we're going to have another call next week that's about what happens, where are you going after the getting started right call? And again, just to simplify it, right? Catherine goes, I'm excited. This is taking the fear out of bringing on a new coach. See, that's what I needed to hear. Devin goes, I want to go talk to more people and I won't let my nerves rule me. It's so true, because at the end of the day, they're going to have you and you have your upline coach, right? Like, think about that. Like, if you bring on somebody, so like when Nisha brings on a coach, hey, and the coach wants to work the business, right? What's going to end up happening is, like, she's going to help that coach as much as she can. But if there's ever a sticking point, she's like, I don't know what to do. She just simply goes to Kanoa and goes, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I don't even know. And Kanoa's going to be able to help her through it. So are you doing Coach Basics just for business builders? For right now, yes. I'm not doing a Coach Basics deep training with my hobby coaches. All I'm doing is helping them, like, help the people that they want to help and tell them they've gone through, like, you have to understand, they've gone through the We Are Together Fit. That means they know the 4 vital behaviors. They know how to use their profile, and they know that their job is to share this with others, okay? They know those things. The hobby coaches know those things. So your job, like for me, if I have a hobby, like a true hobby coach is somebody who only wants to help a couple people. So a true hobby coach, if that's the case, I will say, okay, when you have somebody you want to help, tell me, and I'll help you through the conversations. If they have somebody right now, awesome. If they don't, then we're not going to worry about it. I mean, that's just the truth, because we've been spending too much time trying to help our hobby coaches become business builders, and that's the problem. They don't want to become business builders, and until they're ready and their fire is lit in them, we can't pull them. You can't drag them. You know what I mean? So you have to decide, though, kind of feel it out. For each person, I feel like it might be different. You know what I mean? So you've got to kind of decide. I would still pull them into Voxer. Do you know what I mean? That just doesn't mean when I teach what I'm doing with my Coach Basics, right? Like, I'm still going to have my hobby coaches in Voxer so that they can talk to me about the conversations, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be training them in Voxer. There's a difference of having Voxer and the availability to chat with me versus what I'm doing with Devin. And I'm like, it's like 3 or 4 times a week, she's getting big kahuna chunks of training from me in Voxer, okay? So you've got to know that that's kind of that. I need to balance my social media post and add some that are focused on coaching and not just my accountability groups. That is great. So I will say this. What I've learned is I do it in flows, okay? So this week is all, I don't know if y'all see, but like last week and this week is all 100% challenge groups. Okay, so last week was just like my journey and me talking about my girls in the virtual gym on my Facebook. This week is all me just recruiting like a boss to my challenge group, okay? But then next week, my posts are gonna shift. And instead of me talking about my virtual gym girls, I'm talking about my coaches, talking about what I do as a coach. So I spent a whole week where I don't think about having to do it all the time. I like focus on challenge groups, and because my brain can't do like all of that. You know what I mean? It's too much to think about. So then I just spend a whole week, sometimes you could even think like 2 weeks on challenge groups, 2 weeks on coaching. You know what I mean? Like, you can figure out how to word it. But it's just like when you do calls like this, it's like hanging out with my virtual coaching family. Like, it's so crazy cool that we're helping people all over across the nation. And you can talk about all of the things that you're doing as a coach. And we can definitely brainstorm more on that too. But it doesn't have to be interspersed. You could do it also in like bigger chunks. Hi, KK. She just took a picture and I wanted to make sure I was smiling. Okay, let's see. I just got my first actual working coach and this is gonna be so helpful. Yay! So remember, she goes, I'm so excited and nervous. You're not nervous, you're just really, really excited, right? You're just really excited. Let the nerves go, because the golden rule is you could say everything wrong to that person on the GSR call, yet if they want to do this, they're still going to. I think about all of our veterans who are still here and are still coaches after all these years. Trust me, many of them didn't even have a Getting Started Right call. They were just like, yo, there's these things called Turbo Fire, and like you should just get as many people to do this workout as remotely possible. Okay, bye. I'll be over here if you need me. Like most people didn't even have a Getting Started Right call. So this moment is really just think about why most people become coaches. It's to be a part of this community, right? To feel like they're not on an island by themselves in this journey, and you're going to be able to help them through that process. So that's what I have to say. That's what I got. So anything else that I can help you with? 1 minute. 1 minute. No? Okay. Mama's out. I love you guys. I'm grateful. If there's any extra questions, post them on the Team Together Fit page or whatever page you are on. Myself or your upline coach will be more than happy to help you through the process. Okay. Love you. Love you, love you, love you. I'm taking a picture real fast, so if you want to say cheese, you can. Ready? Oh, no. It's doing some weird update. Yay! Oh, that's not my camera. Yay! Okay, bye.